Alrighty, looks like we've got. Oh man, this is gonna be like.
Oh man,
I might have made a mistake, but I'm excited with this. What we have on feature match here is Azorius control. We're gonna pull that one up. I believe it is a more traditional blue-white control list. The Esper control, however, is what I'm very excited for. While it says Esper control, it is very misleading name because this is a Lutri deck as our companion. This deck is going to be doing some sweet one-ofs. And what's super interesting to me is that as they were, what I have here is I have a deck list, and I also have a piece of paper as an edit to the deck list, because when I was talking to Cam about it a little bit. So if you're playing Lutri, Potter, right, we can come in, sit down, look around the room, and you can make some one-off changes real quick.
Yeah.
And it's like the best deck to do that with, right?
You have justification for doing so.
Right.
We always want this, but we don't get the justification. Now that we have Lutri in our deck, we're just like, we can
exactly.
Just one of for something else.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I see a lot of Monogram. I see a lot of Greasefang. I need some of these things. Interestingly, the cards that I see that are changed here, I think are going to be real good in this matchup.
Yeah.
So it's I think it's going to be pretty exciting to see this Thought Distortion and Hullbreaker Horror probably just be very powerful in this matchup here. So
either way, buckle up. We're in for a long one.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. So we got some players still decide mulligans here. Looks like blue-white might have taken a mulligan. Who do you favor?
Oh, don't ask me that.
So I need a logically, who do you favor in this matchup? Who do you think is going to win the game of Magic? Not who do you with your hopes and dreams?
That is a great question. So I'm looking at the Lutri deck here. Obviously, they have a companion, so they're going to be up a card in a grindy matchup, right?
Do they have a lot of ways to capitalize? So I mean, a lot of times what I see with Lutri is it's like removal spell gets cast twice, right? Do they have like any kind of cantrips? We're gonna skim through this list. Obviously, we can't give you the whole list here, but we see a lot of things around traditional, control elements, things like Supreme Verdict, Farewell, Doomscar. Got a bunch of Wraths. You also have a bunch of creatures in this deck. So things like Sheoldred and Murderous Rider and Atris, Oracle of Half-Truths. That's one of my favorite keep cards. You just keep going, right? And the mind games of it, it's so much fun.
I'm not seeing a whole lot of payoffs here. I'm seeing a Bloodchief's Thirst. I'm seeing a Thoughtseized. Oh, yes.
There we go. Oh, found a whole other section of one of them. So.
Yeah. Never mind.
Void Rends. Do a copy of Void Rend. Seems real powerful.
Yeah, we're seeing a bunch of Doomblade type effects.
Counters, Doomblades. Those aren't the things I want to copy in this match.
Yeah.
So you see a Consider, Cling to the Dust, a Behold the Multiverse.
If I'm eyeballing it, I'm going to say about 10 cards, right?
A Dig Through Time. Maybe not even. Maybe like 6, right?
Yeah.
Copy that.
Divide by 0. Do we have oh god, do we have things that we have an environmental sciences?
Oh, we keep going. We have one Divide by 0, and then we have the one environmental sciences. This I also see that there's an Orvar in the sideboard. That's super sweet modern tech. I'm curious how it's going to come to play. And this, I guess, red black. Is an effective like pitch? Like I guess it's really sweet Lily tech, right?
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. I like that.
We're definitely using our noggin here. We're already in turn 4.
And this is the fastest control game I've ever seen.
Well, both players are doing nothing.
Field of Ruin. Yeah. This is important Magic. Yeah. These are the setting up stages of the game. You got to hit your land drops.
This is more of your Magic than mine.
Ooh,
okay.
We got a threat in response. I like this. Wandering Mind. I'll be honest. I've been incredibly impressed with this card in Pioneer. I think that this card, in my read, seems bad, and then it's just not. It's just fantastic.
It's definitely has proven itself. It doesn't really jump off the card when you first read it. A lot of the abilities don't seem very powerful, but it does enough.
Yeah, it seems more like to me like it's kind of like almost like a command, right? Where like the ability is exile a guy, put a counter, or make a 2/2, exile a guy. Like that's kind of how I treat it in my thought process when I first evaluate it. But it does just stick around.
Yep.
And I think anytime you get to exile a creature with it, you feel happy that it's in your deck, right? I think anytime you get to flash it in and put in a 2/2 and block, I think you're pretty happy it's in your deck. So
I feel like that's the part we underrated the most. Is just it's kind of a haste threat in a way.
Yeah. Oh, we have a tap out.
Okay. The one of Teferi.
that joke will knock you out, I promise.
Yeah.
What's quite interesting is because we did the Field of Ruin and end step, we flashed in the Wandering Mind because they were tapped out. Azeem did have the the Teferi. I think that's got to be like the best thing to untap with here, right?
I maybe.
Do we have a bunch of 2-mana counter spells are protected? I think I see like 3 or 4.
See a Jawari Disruption.
Censor, Dovin's Veto, yeah. Negate. Yeah. We got a bunch of counters to protect this Teferi. Oh, I'm excited. Oh, it tucked. Did it tuck? Is that at 2?
Yeah, it's at 2. So it may have tucked.
Oh, it got attacked, obviously.
Oh, yeah,
much more logical reason of why it got lower loyalty. I really appreciate the pace of play these players are having so far. I think that
I think when you are a control player and you play a Hollow Fountain, your opponent plays a Hollow Fountain, I feel like you
buckle up.
Yeah, you tighten up your pace of play, even from turn 1 of game 1.
Yeah, I definitely feel that.
I mean, I wouldn't know, but that's what I would do.
Yeah, that's definitely. I definitely feel that whenever I play, my opponent plays a bunch of random lands. I play a bunch of random lands that make 5 colors and say, okay, let's keep it moving here.
Yeah.
All right, so
is that no? Okay.
I'm curious how a field of ruin on Thomas's side, blue white side, but it seems like our mana is pretty safe. Murderous Rider.
Murderous Rider.
I like this.
Goodbye, Emperor.
Murderous Rider is a card that seems like it should be good. Here's Downfall at one time was like a 4 of in the inverter decks, right? Yep. And Murderous Rider's been honestly pretty terrible. Like it was really good in like a lot of the aggressive red deck or like aggressive black decks, but it's like one of the worst cards in that deck, right?
I think all the Pioneer decks have kind of made themselves really efficient, and I think that's mostly due to mono green existing, which makes that card bad.
Yeah. You
can't really, even if it's trading down 1 mana, like say you kill a Karn with Murderous Rider, like 1 mana compared to like something like, I don't know, like an Eliminate, does that kill Karn? No, something. No. Okay. But at the same time, like using 3 mana to like kill something usually isn't where you want to be.
I get that. I will see this is a Shark Typhoon cycle blocking for trading. Protecting that Teferi is easily the most important thing in this game.
Ooh.
Oh, the Faithful Absence.
Oh, man.
A card that, again, on paper seems terrible, but you just got to kill some planeswalkers, right?
You just got to kill stuff for 2 mana.
Yeah.
That was the card I was kind of looking for in my brain. I was like, what kills a planeswalker for 2 mana?
There you go. Giving him a clue. Yeah, but I mean, now we see that Azeem has no more Teferis left in his deck, right? That's
that they were gone.
they are all gone.
So what we will win with this time is the world is our oyster.
What I do find interesting is that Azeem has a bunch of they have a bunch of creature threats that are kind of awkward and difficult for the control deck to have the correct permission, right? A lot of times you see them leave up veto. Like I'm really excited for when we get into sideboarding. Like, what the heck do you do when you're sideboarding against an Esper creature deck?
Yeah.
Right? Like it could be anything.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so this is a nightmare. If I was a blue-white control player, I'd be in my worst nightmare right now.
Really, I think this is the best part of it.
Yeah, this is we differ. I like casting Lava Spike, and you like hanging out casting your Niv Mizzets.
I just want my opponent to be confused.
Yeah,
that's all I want.
That's fair. I like my opponents to be dead in game.
No.
Yeah, in game.
No. It's a very aggressive stance.
Yeah. Yeah.
See a bunch of lands, bunch of like verdicts and things like that in Thomas's hand. I can't tell, is the loot tree picked up? I think it might have been. Another field. Does feel good in the mirror? Probably, right?
Yeah, I would assume so.
There's a land that stops what do we got on?
At least in the blue-white control mirrors, I know it is, because there are a lot of lands that matter between the 2 castles.
Yeah, 2 castles, you got a hall, right?
Yeah.
That's not a lot of lands that like do work for you. Interestingly, in the Esper deck, we have a hall, Otawara,
Shambling Vent, 2
shambling vents. Yeah, we have a lot more and 2 filter and a lot more lands that are interacting, I think.
Yep.
We'll definitely see some of the I don't think that the Esper control Lutri deck's going to get cut off of colors though with any of this. So
I don't think so at this point.
Yeah, we've got a lot of lands. We're doing our stuff.
How many basics we got over there from them?
On the Esper side, I'm going to hope 3.
Yep.
That is a correct
answer. One of each.
We got 3. Yep.
Naganjo is going to go after the Murderous Rider. Can't counter that one.
I like it. Card I'm really interested in this Lucher deck is I want to see this Ashiok Nightmare Muse hit the board. This is a card that I like. I actually think this card is good in Pioneer. It's just not good in Pioneer. Like it's like, again, I think back of the days with the inverter decks, right? Where like when you weren't invertering, if you put an Ashiok into play, you just felt unbeatable.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
That was a card that was, I think, usually 2 to 3 copies were played in inverter.
Yeah. And like one of the main reasons you needed downfalls is to be able to kill their Ashioks and kill their planeswalkers. And like it's just so wild that the game is different from that time.
Yeah.
Right?
So much has changed in so little time. It's not even because like a Modern Horizons 2 kind of thing came along. It's just a lot of just efficient cards are printed over the last few years.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah, completely.
Now we're here is this is where I start to fall asleep.
No,
I see like 7 lands on each side.
Well, what's interesting is from the Azorius side, they actually haven't been hitting lands, right?
Yep, they haven't.
But they've been holding Ganjo, they've been holding Otawara. I think we might be playing this Otawara because we're like, I don't want to bounce a loot tree. What else am I going to be bouncing, right?
Yep.
But I see a lot of see a Teferi, I see a Verdict. What I will say is game 1 control mirrors not super great.
I agree
that you see it's like who has drawn their portable holes, who has drawn their dead cards too often, right?
Yep.
Game 2s I think are a lot more interesting where we can get the dead cards out of our deck. It's this like it feels like Wizards magic rather than Haymaker magic. Right?
Yeah, I definitely agree.
What do we got here?
Is that
Atris.
the truth?
Yeah. Please resolve. This card's so sweet. So Atris, again, if you don't know that you play this little like sub game, right? Where you take the top 3 cards, your opponent looks at them, one pile goes face down, the other one goes face up, and then you as the player who cast Atris gets to pick which one you keep, right? And you got to think like it's almost always like you just take the 2 card pile almost every time, but especially in this spot where there's a lot of dead cards.
Yeah.
Like, what if you show Dovin's Veto, right?
Or even you could show something like lands are more valuable here than portable holes. You see like you could show like an island and maybe the other 2 cards are like a portable hole.
There we go. Absorb showing up.
Yep.
Like I think you just take the absorb. Like,
I
don't want the risk of these 2 back. Oh, there was a behold in there though.
And a vanishing verse.
Yeah.
Those are 2
good
cards,
right? But I mean that pile of 3 was fantastic.
Yep. Yeah, those are just 3 good cards.
Yeah, I think that like you kind of got to just take the good one, right?
Yeah. I think absorb is too much of a premium here.
Yes, absolutely. I think it's interesting that like if you put the behold up, you snap take the behold. I think if you put vanishing verse up, you take the 2. Like it's interesting that you get pretty solved in some of these.
Yep.
Interesting. So we got to have a veto, right?
I am assuming we have a veto
into the absorb. We have given our opponent.
Or we just have a bunch of Teferis in our hand, which might be the case.
All right, got to play your cards at some point here.
Yep. It's not getting any better, I suppose.
Consider.
The Esper Lutri deck is putting their claws around them.
Have we missed the Lutri? Consider is definitely a premium card. I would actually chill out with the Lutri for.
Yep.
Unless I'm like looking for this one of dig through time, right? Gets rid of a planeswalker removal spell. That one has a lot of game.
Yep.
That's like again, what you only got like 4 or 5 ways to probably kill a planeswalker, and then that's an important thing. Ooh.
We have a Gearhawk in here.
Our Gearhawk dig through time.
We got in our hand. I'm trying to figure that out.
All right, we got a land.
We got a farewell.
Okay.
We got a shieldred.
Ooh, we have the beatdown right now. What happened? This is gonna look real bad into Thomas's verdict in his hand.
Yep.
That's gonna be a good clean answer to these problematic creatures. Cannot be countered.
Fall down to 19, I believe, here off the Godless Shrine.
This is gonna be the quickest verdict I've ever seen.
Yep. Nice.
Slam.
Cast that one.
I think I see a deluge in Thomas's hand too as a follow-up with my extra 4 mana. I think that's gonna be huge. It's gonna be very, very impactful.
What do you think about leading on the deluge maybe here instead of the verdict?
No, I mean verdict's uncounterable, right? So
yeah, I was just thinking like maybe they would let it resolve. Maybe you're scared of a censor, a 1 of censor or something like that.
Never play around these.
Yeah.
They never have it, and if they do, you deserve to get cut.
Okay.
Like they deserve to get their quality of their card. You think your opponent has 10 lands in play and they're keeping up a censor?
Probably not.
Do it. Just please have a censor.
Yeah, doesn't have it. Okay. I feel like there might have been a likelihood of. Oh,
do they have it?
Oh, it's the disruption.
Disruption. No. I was wrong all along.
There's 2 days in the deck, John.
2 days.
That's why.
You never play around days, and they just always have it. The one of.
Oh, it was a one of.
It was the one of the whole time. Wow.
The solder token's gonna get busy.
How do you play around stuff as the Azorius controller? Like, again,
Yeah.
That's why I also don't like leading up, because like they have one.
Yeah.
Apparently they have two.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you definitely can't play Thomas here. It's basically impossible to play around anything.
Yeah. I mean, I think you're right though. Like, if you just cast the deluge first. Oh, we flash back that deluge
now.
All right, this one resolves. We got another deluge in that pile. Okay. I
Okay.
think we're starting to do some churn, and
I believe maybe a veto as well was picked up.
that's
if I saw it real
fantastic.
quick.
We're making a bunch of tokens with this castle though.
I will say on the Phoenix side, I have died to Castle Ardenvale a lot.
Really?
Yes,
That card-
surprisingly.
That card is never scary to me.
Yep. That's because you play like 6/6s and stuff.
Yeah. I also have things that can block.
Yeah.
Interesting. I don't think I've ever seen an opponent activate one of these against me, because it's just so unimpactful. Hall of Storm Giants, though.
Yeah.
That card is thick. That card
It is
is
7/7.
Yeah.
Field of Ruin. It's going to check that Shambling Vent or Castle Ardenvale. Probably the castle at this point.
Yeah, probably. The Shielding Event just provides so much pressure against Planeswalkers, though.
Yeah.
I mean, the castle's going to do the same, I guess. You got to stop it.
I think it's just a long-term problem because you could
I
just
agree.
verdict once, get all the tokens out of there.
But does the Azorius deck have a great way, other than these Field of Ruins? Because we're already down, what, 2 now? Do you have
Yeah.
a great way to kill Shambling Event? Wandering Emperor.
Yeah, Emperor, Fateful Absence, maybe a March.
March. Yeah, March is good. Okay.
Definitely do see 2 portable holes in Thomas's hand, which are
Ooh. Well, conveniently, there are
Yeah,
2
there-
less than 2 mana thing, or,
there they are.
just get them. That's always the worst. Portable Hole is not a pliable magic card. It does the one thing quite well.
Yep. And there goes the castle.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, even if like these tokens need a verdict to clean them up, right? Like you've done it. Your land has produced a card.
Yep. And about 4-ish points, 3-4
Yeah.
points.
I'm still stuck. Did we see the loot tree?
I don't know.
Why are we shuffling?
Field of Ruin is why we're shuffling.
Oh, we're looking through our deck.
Oh,
Interesting.
okay.
No, fail to find? Is that what is happening?
That
here?
might be what's going on.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, so if you're the Lutri player, are you chilling out and like, oh, Lutri was picked up turn 3. Sweet, sweet, sweet. But it hasn't been used yet, right? Is it still in hand? Or is it dead?
I believe he's not used it yet. It might be the card that's more towards the back, actually.
Okay. Last card hand. Got it. Perfect. All right. For our viewers at home, we have all these deck lists up that we keep paying attention to, and not from our content managers' disruptions of there is a Lutri very obviously in their hand that we were missing. So we're just looking at all these fun ups and seeing what's going to be drawn next.
Yeah, we're 2 drawn to the Lutri deck list.
I'm real excited for this Ashiok. I'm excited for this Torrential Gearhawk.
Yeah.
What do you think about Airtie Resurrected as a magic card? You know what this card does?
That's that guy. Yeah.
Yes.
I had to play some standard recently. I think it's powerful. I think it meets the criteria of Pioneer actually quite well, which is it's kind of like Fateful Absence. You don't really mind giving your opponent 2 for 1 because there's a lot of tempo in every game.
But is the 3/2 worth it?
Don't know.
That's where I'm stuck. Is that
Yeah.
like if the 3/2 had menace or flying or some
It
sort
needs
of
something.
evasion
I
or some
agree.
other keyword on it, right? I think that I would like it a lot more. But it's like the 2 for 1. I mean, you're doing like a 2 for 2, right? Because
Yeah.
you're left with a 3/2 and they're getting a card.
Yep.
And is a premium of 2 extra mana on this worth the body? I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe not just because it's so expensive.
I mean, it's worth the one of, right?
Yep. It is only a 1 of.
it's worth the one.
Yeah. Yeah, it probably makes the cut here.
Yeah, I think one of the ways that I see Lutri, I mean, Lutri's pressured, right? We got Thomas at 7.
Yep.
Thomas really needs to stick this to Fairy. He's got a counter spell. He's got to absorb at least one as backup. We don't have a lot of counters in Azeem's deck, but we do have a Void Red.
Oh yeah,
right?
that is just gonna take care of it pretty cleanly.
Yeah, so we're down at least 2 Teferis now, right? So yeah, I mean this. What's that other card?
It's some sort of alternate art thing. It might be like Triland or something. Maybe thinking about a cycle in response.
This Fairy's in there. It's got to get Void Rended almost immediately,
assuredly,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
And
About to counter. About to counter. Can't counter that one.
Yeah.
You can try.
You'll gain 3 life. That's what you will do.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you got to feel from Thomas's spot. You're like, I've done it. I've prepared my Teferi with a backup counter spell, and my opponent has the one card that I can't beat.
One of Void Rend?
The one of Void Rend. They had it.
Are you kidding me?
We got a Delusion in the yard, though, so you got to feel still pretty good.
It's gone.
Oh, did they already use that one?
Yeah,
oh,
it's Clinging to Dust. Yep.
Oh, no, that's not great.
Also one of.
Yeah. You didn't get to draw a card. Doesn't want to activate the Shambling Bent.
It's very interesting.
You got stuff to do with this mana? That's kind of surprising. Put it at 6. Like, I want to be shambling.
Yeah, I kind of agree, but maybe even just casting a Lutri is a 3/2.
What do we have? Do we have the dig through time Lutri?
Ooh.
It sure is.
Oh, Lord.
It sure is. So one thing that's really subtle here, and I didn't necessarily see this player do this earlier, you need to be incredibly specific on the words you say with Lutri. Because if you say cast dig through time, and then your opponent says, okay, you cannot Lutri anymore, right?
Yep.
You need to say cast dig through time, hold priority, or your opponent is cast counter. Now you Lutri.
Yep.
Right? Now you Lutri in response, and you cast your dig.
I think it's easy to say hold priority too, because I think in a lot of spots with certain other cards, like you don't want to give up that information that I have that Lutri. Your opponent's going to know that Lutri's in your hand. So you could just say
exactly
hold priority, dig through time, make it pretty clean.
Exactly. You got to say the whole priority. I think that it's small, but those are like big magic things, right? Like,
yep.
I've seen many a times in players playing Legacy, where that most commonly comes up, where you say the words whole priority. Not very common in Pioneer, but
yep.
This is one of them.
I think this is Absorb is getting vetoed.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And we're going to dig again.
This is the dream.
Yeah.
This is what we want to do. I will say, after my best friend Urian got banned in Modern, I did make a Lutri deck. It was, you want to guess how many colors it was?
5.
5 colors,
yes.
correct. That's the right answer. Yep. 5 color Lutri. I sleeved it up, was super excited, goldfished a bunch of games. And you know what? Like, I got it out of my system.
Yeah.
I didn't need to bring it to a tournament. I was able to get it all out of my system by goldfishing a few games. It was fun.
So I also did the same. Would you like to guess how many colors I played in my Lutri deck?
I'm gonna go with 2.
I'm gonna 1. I was a mono red Lutri deck.
Come on. That's not even.
Played it on Magical Line, went 2-3, threw it in the garbage.
You have a mono red companion. You don't even need the Lutri.
But I called it mono red love letter because you get to buy. The fun part was picking out the one of red cards that just like I like that card.
I guess that's fair.
Copy of Warlord's Fury, off of Lutri.
I don't like it.
Yeah,
I don't like that. I mean, yeah, like a 3/2 that bolts somebody. That's powerful. I guess it's more. Is Lutri a wizard?
I don't think so.
We have to check. I want them to be like an otter wizard or something sweet like that. Elemental otter. Much worse. Or maybe we lean into the tribals of the elementals. All right, Lutri is team play here. We got some attacks. Tom's back up to 9 though with that absorb. We got a lot of fresh cards here. But honestly, we've seen a lot of the really impactful cards in this matchup from Azeem's deck. Like, what's left, right? We just dig twice, but we know the Vito's gone. We know the Void Ren's gone.
Yep.
We know the Teferi's gone. Right, so we're looking for like, oh, there's a haul.
See a Lutri there and a Supreme Verdict.
I think that haul is going to be really, really good in this match.
It's going to be impactful.
Well, maybe. So we got
a fatal push.
We got a fatal push, right? Yeah.
But I saw that be put to the bottom off of one of the dig through times.
Oh no, Vanishing Verse also quite good, but that was put to the bottom earlier.
Yep.
Oh no, it was put to the graveyard. Yeah.
This is like a puzzle. We get to figure it out what's left.
That's why I'm so excited.
Yeah.
It could be anything. You could just draw the one of. We got a march we could use. We got a Does divide by zero work?
And this is the 3/2 you were talking about. What's his name again? The blue black guy that counters a thing.
Air tie.
Air tie, yeah.
What is it? Oh, is this just like the value flashing my 3/2?
Yeah, we're just getting busy.
We're just gonna try and run them and gun them.
Yep.
Get my mainland up, attack for 5.
Yep, that's the plan.
I think he has a fateful absence, right?
I believe so.
Oh, he's fielding the
we do have a
Hall.
field. Hidden in our lands, we had another field. Only 2 of them, I believe, the Lutri deck.
Interestingly enough, he could have activated the Hall and make us pay 3, right? From the ward, so you can't attack with a Shambling
That
Vent.
is interesting.
And that would...
Well, this was the end of Thomas's turn.
Oh, okay. We're still in the end step. I understand. Then don't do that.
Maybe I missaw. Is there a fatal push in hand, or is that some other card? That is a fatal push.
There
in
is a
hand.
fatal push in hand.
Okay, I missaw.
Lucky for us, we drew the one of.
Yep.
Actually, we probably don't really want it anymore.
Yeah,
Got all gone.
we do not want it. And we got a lot of stinkers in hand.
Whoa, this is a lot of mana about to be tapped.
Yeah, that's okay.
We're counting.
6,
tapping here.
7. Oh, the Hall. That's what we're counting up. Counting up 6 lands and the Hall.
He has a fateful absence, right? I think he
Yep.
still has it in hand. Are we doing the Shambling Vent too?
Might as well.
Yeah, I think if you do both, I don't think he's. Yeah,
I
he's just
think he
doing
went to
the one.
combat.
Yeah, because if you do both, I think you get him, right? Oh, we have a veto still.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, man, that's right. Because we didn't need to. Yeah.
So it didn't matter.
Okay. We got Esper Lucher taking it down first round, our first match.
Yep.
Or game of the match, I should say. Let's talk about sideboarding.
Yeah, I'm gonna read you the sideboard.
Well, let's go to the good
Okay.
one. Let's go to the good, the cleaner. There's a bunch of 2-ofs in this terrible 2-of deck.
Yeah.
No, I love blue. It's good. I'm seeing 2 Hullbreaker Horse. Those are real good.
Yep.
Seeing 2 Narsets, 2 Mystical Disputes, Disdainful Stroke.
Summary dismissal, Narset's reversal. I think so. I think all the considerations here. I think Narset's reversal, dismissal if you want just like a 4-mana counter spell, disdainful stroke, 2 Hullbreaker Horrors will be in here for sure. I'm sure. 2 Narsets and 2 mystical dispute.
Yeah, I'm thinking. I don't know this dismissal's coming in because I don't know if you have the room to take stuff out, right? Because you're cutting the 4 holes, and but your opponent has a bunch of creatures, right? So like you can't just like slam out all the verdicts and stuff. You probably trim some.
Yep.
Do you like March?
I don't think I like March.
I don't think I do. But then how are you killing I guess you have the field of ruins you're allowing to kill the manlands, right?
Yeah, I think you leave in the fateful absence and like 2 verdicts or something like that.
I like that. Yeah. Yeah, I think that you cut the portable holes, you cut the marches, you cut 2 verdicts, and you bring in all the counter spells, the horrors, the Narsets. I think that one thing I'm really excited for is Narset's reversal. Because again, talk to me about this card. Like, do you experience this card often in Pioneer?
Every once in a while. I'm trying to think. There was a deck recently that I think it was Joel Sad Whiskey. I call him. He was playing a blue-black control deck, and I played him in day 2 of the team open, and he Narset's reversal of my Treasure Cruise, which was rough.
What?
Yeah,
I like that. That sounds
so.
fantastic.
I think that's like usually the mode of this card is you are bouncing a delve spell and you're casting it for yourself.
Yeah, so what I understand is that this card is quite good in counter mirrors, right? Because you can just counter their stuff, right?
Yep.
But it's also quite good in combo mirrors, where either you're using it to like protect stuff, your own combo, or stop their combo, right? But what's really interesting in this matchup is I see a note here. Again, this is the last minute edit.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That Azeem has changed. He has a thought distortion in his sideboard. That card is a house in this matchup.
Yes.
But it's real good against it. Narset's reversal.
Oh god. That's like the only answer, really.
Exactly.
Well, I guess summary dismissal could get there too.
That's true. But like put it back in your hand. Then I'm gonna discard your entire hand.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good. That's so good.
I want to read off the Lutri sideboard because it sounds like fun.
I guess if you want to.
1 Ether Gust,
No,
1
it's okay.
Dream Trawler,
Fantastic.
1 Environmental Sciences.
Probably not. Maybe. Is there one you board that in a control matchup where you're just like, I want lands?
Maybe if you have
you
enough
want-
deck cards.
Now,
yeah,
because you want the divide by 0. Right?
maybe. 1 Lyra, 1 Noxious Grasp, 1 Rest in Peace, 1 Suspicious Stowaway, which
I'm
might
sorry,
come.
What is this? What is suspicious stowaway?
So it's a 1/1 for 2 that's unblockable, and if it hits them, you draw and discard. And
What's
then
the other side do?
it's a 2/1 where it does the same thing, but you just draw the card. I'm pretty sure.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah, so it might be like a fine thread here.
Yeah, I like that card in this matchup.
Temporary lockdown, one of.
Yeah.
One Hearse, unlicensed Hearse. One
Yeah.
Elspeth, Sun's Champion.
Big fan.
Yeah, haven't seen that
Cool.
card in years. One Cataclysmic Gearhulk.
Cataclysmic Gearhulk. I
Yeah.
haven't seen this card in a bit. Yeah, this is a good one.
That was in the mono white devotion decks actually when I think they started to play Karn a little bit towards the end, and they would board for that.
I like this card a lot. Orvar, again, we talked about probably more like the Liliana tech, and then one Hullbreaker Horror.
Certainly will come in here.
And then that Thought Distortion we just talked about. So yeah, I'm seeing like Hullbreaker Horror, Thought Distortion, Elspeth, the Stowaway, Noxious Grasp is white as well, right? It's green white.
Green white, yep.
Yeah.
It's
so
the Gearhulk
that
on
one,
screen.
Yeah, there you go.
We'll probably not
bringing the
here.
Gearwalk in here,
Yeah.
but it is a sweet one. It's a sweet one of at least.
Yeah.
I'm seeing like 6 cards, but they're mostly threats, right? They're both mostly big haymakery magic.
Yep.
Not a lot of like finessing, no more counters in the board, right? No, yeah. So I think we're just kind of cutting
removal spells for a bunch of haymakers.
Yeah,
looks
well, we got a March, we got one March, a Fatal Push, and Eliminates. We got probably our like Farewell and our Doomscar and our Verdict, because I don't know if we want our Wraths against the blue white deck. Sometimes you want one because they could bring in like Lyra and stuff. And our Portable Hole. Yeah, I think that's kind of it. You just cut all the removal spells, bring in all your big 5-6 mana spells. Hope
and Rest in Peace came in.
I mean, they only have one dig through time, right?
Yeah.
What else is that?
Cling to Dust.
Okay.
Escape.
Okay.
I
mean, again, I don't think you have
yeah.
the read as blue white of what they're gonna have in their board, right? Like,
yeah, you might as well do the old smoke screen. Just shuffle up your sideboard, shuffle your deck, take out 15 random cards. It's you don't know what you're.
So as a Magic player, we're talking about that. Do you like that sideboarding strategy as a Magic player? Like, would you do that in a tournament in any way?
What do you mean, just taking out 15 random cards?
No, you take your sideboard, shuffle it into your deck, and then pull out the cards that are appropriate.
I'm usually too lazy, but I think it's.
Sure.
I don't really scoff at anyone for doing it, but
where I get stuck is the information I have withheld from my opponent by knowing how many cards I'm sideboarding is so less often be relevant in my mind as the chances I make a mistake.
Yep.
Right. I'm so much more likely to leave in the wrong card, make a mistake. Because like I like Azeem here. I don't know if you saw him into that match there. He had a piece of paper.
Yep.
Right. He had his sideboard guide.
I do that too.
That makes me have such a better design plan. And I think that like the sideboard guide, I do that a lot. I map out, I use a Google Doc with a grid to be able to understand where I'm cutting things when I'm not. Because I'll get to a spot where I say, okay, well, I want a card that's good against Greasefang and Mono Green. What's it going to be? And then I realize I'm like, oh, Pithing Needle's a really good card that interacts in those matchups and can come in these other areas. All of a sudden, I now have the thing that fits my gap, right?
Yeah, I have the exact same process. I use a good old Excel spreadsheet to figure out my sideboard plans, but the Stowaway is going to flip here.
I like this. The Stowaway seems real good to me.
Yeah.
Like, opponent cut a lot of removal, have a lot of counters. It's a cheap. Oh, we got a Fateful Absence moving to the front there, though.
Yeah, we also have a Narset set in play, so we will not be drawing cards as of yet.
You're like slamming on the Snar set, right?
Yeah. Well, it is not going
Do you
to.
protect this Stowaway? I feel like you have to, right? Like, if you have a counter, I think you have a
So,
veto in hand, I think, at the front.
Thomas is going to 5 mana, so maybe you're scared of Teferi, but I think it is worth it here.
I think
But
if
we
you
need
have
to tap
removal-
differently, I think. We got a Field of Ruin taps.
Yeah, that Field of Ruin does not tap for this veto. Hopefully that. Oh, a second absence.
Okay.
Just got all absences out of the deck, though.
Yep.
That means that most of our removal's gone. Let's hope that this tapping issue is not going to cause
Hopefully it won't come up.
an issue here. But Slam? Teferi? No Teferi. Oh, no. We're tapping. Oh, the clue.
Yeah,
Okay,
clue.
good.
Yep, didn't come up.
Sweet. Seems like our land's getting fixed. Got a Water Grave in hand. Is that a Farewell still in hand? I don't like that. I don't like that Farewell in this deck.
I don't either. I think if it said Planeswalkers, you'd at least consider it still in the deck, but I think at this point, I don't like it.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, let's talk about Farewell. That card has been fantastic.
I think it's great. Yeah.
That card has been so powerful in my experience. I think that, especially like for me, I play a lot of, was this Negate?
Yep, negate. And we reached for the dispute, but we realized we had 3 mana up.
You don't just, no, you want to save that. That'll be a
Yeah,
card. That'll be a card here soon. Yeah.
But I think, we said they left the farewell in the deck, that it's pretty easy as a Lutri player to just forget you have one of that. You're just like, oh wait, that card is bad here, kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that I mean there could be like, again, if they've played against players that are bringing in cards like Dreamcrawler, or I mean, you need ways to kill a Hullbreaker Horror, right? Because your opponent's gonna have some of those. Farewell seems like the sloppy way to do it.
Yep.
Right. We got our deluge here.
Delusions.
How good do we feel like this Narset is? Is this Narset chilling out like devastating, or is it like, yeah, it's fine?
I think it's just fine.
Right, we got it to Fairy.
I think the key mode of this card when Thomas was reaching for his board and boarding this in was, I'm going to get a card or two off of this, and if it prevents my opponent from drawing a card, that's kind of gravy.
So we're not from Azeem's side. We're not trying to kill the Narset with a magic card, right? Like, we don't find that this is withholding us from doing something. It's if I can chip shot it somewhere, I'm in. But
I
I'm not
believe
going to
so.
spend a card on it.
It probably hampers maybe one or two cards, maybe prevents them from drawing a card or two. But like a card like this, it's not going to do anything against.
I actually think it's like only to Fairy, right? Because there's a dig. There's
it was the stowaway that we saw before.
That's true. Like, that's the only card I think that
Shark Typhoon.
Yeah, you can just do it on their turn.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep,
so
sure.
so it's basically like the stowaway and Teferi, Hero of Dominaria. So there's only two cards that actually is annoying against. So
we hard cast a Shark Typhoon here, which is going to be pretty good if it sticks around.
Yeah, but there's a Vanishing Verse in this deck.
There's a Farewell.
There's a Farewell. This is so good.
freeze up the graveyard as well.
And gets the rest of these. Oh no, we were wrong all along.
Every time we think we're right,
maybe that's it. Maybe it's that they're just Azeem is just so. Oh no, the second one, slam his Vanishing Verse somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe we're just so used to the way that we lose this game is our opponent plays a Shark Typhoon hard cast, and we get got, right? So the way to kill that is one of our like 2 or 3 cards that interact. I mean, we're getting the spot where Azeem is hitting these land drops and has a lot of good haymakers in their deck. I think Thomas only has the 1 card in hand, but we have a Delusion in the yard, right?
Yeah, I think we have.
What are the Delusions exile from the Rest in Peace?
Oh, that's right.
Rest in Peace is harder against us than it is against Thomas.
Yeah, right? Might have been.
Oh no, where's a veto?
There's a veto.
Well, it's the only card in hand is a veto.
So we decided to not
slam
on our
the quickest.
Yeah,
the quickest. Sometimes instant speed isn't better.
Azeem had the.
I guess he has a counter up though, so you'd want to counter up to Fairy or something there.
Yeah, I think that's what Azeem's thinking is there
for sure. That makes sense. No cards, shambling up. I like it.
Not yet.
We have an Absorb. We have a Noxious Grasp. Ignore this Narset.
Yep,
does nothing to us.
Yep.
I'm just looking for as a Zemer.
Never mind. Maybe it was going on the Narset and we chose to chump block. Because the Shark Typhoon token is gone.
think that's the best exchanges. Treat that. Oh no, we got to answer the Shambling Event. Trade this Shambling Event for the damage for a Shark is a real effect. What's the 4th card? Let's use Thirst.
So we got that.
Again, I don't think this is going to the Narset.
Noxious Grasp. And is that a Graveyard Trespasser? It might be an alert of something here.
Is it is it a Sedgemoor Witch?
Could be a Sedgemoor Witch. It looks Innistrad-esque.
It's not the Lutri, right? Like that's not.
No, the Lutri SC is right here.
Yeah, Lutri's chilling. We haven't bought Lutri, which is interesting.
Yep.
Yeah, the attack was going to Narset. I like this. I don't think this Narset is worth a card, right? Like it's now only in our deck. The only card it is annoying against is Teferi.
I guess it's like it's 2 points worth it at the same time. It's like maybe you'll draw that one up to Teferi and it'll still lock you out.
So I guess what's fair is there is a non-zero chance that Thomas is playing like Days Undoing, right? Or something else where or like what's the card, 4-mana card, counter something to the top 3 and then you flashback Twister.
Oh, it's Commit to Memory.
There
is that
go.
one?
Yeah.
Yep.
So there's a world that those cards could be in our deck and just annihilate us, right?
Yeah.
I tend to be a fan of Kill the Planeswalker. I've learned that a lot of times.
I think it's just more so the 2 points aren't really doing anything at this point in the game.
Yeah, you're not racing against a Shark Typhoon. You're gonna go over the top or you're not, right?
Yep.
We drew an Absorb. So even we'll have our own Absorb to protect. Hall's good. Hall's really hard to interact with now that Now that feudal run's out of the way. I like the activation on Azeem's turn to like force it, right? You don't have time, you don't get to wait. You have to use this now.
Yep.
The lesson of here we go, Bind Lutri. The lesson of kill the planeswalker. What's that? Is that a Ganjo?
It's an Aganjo or a Plains.
Okay. Way back standard time when Jace the Mind Sculptor was fair standard Magic card. I was a poor boy and I had no Jace the Mind Sculptors. So my answer was to play main deck Phyrexian Revokers.
Yep.
To name the Jace the Mind Sculptor.
There you go.
And I've made decisions to ignore it because it was already named with the Revoker. And then my opponent has killed my Magic cards and they have their Jace back. So I have learned that, you just kill the planes.
That's one little Goss learned.
You just kill them.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't all the things it could be are good to kill a Star set. Oh, we got Absorb back, and then we got Absorb. So what's really interesting here is Azeem can go Absorb, and then we have Thomas Absorb back, and then we can Lutri our own Absorb.
Oh, we have enough mana for that. The colors might be an issue too, because we have a Field of Ruin, but I don't think we're okay.
4 blue. We got 4 blue and a white. Yeah, we got a Water Grave.
Yep, he set it up here.
Yeah, I like this. I think this is gonna be cool. So what do you do as Thomas? Do you just like let it resolve because they have Lutri? No, you want your Shark, right?
Yeah, I'm honestly not sure, but Thomas made a quick decision here.
Yeah, you want the Shark, I think. Having 2 Sharks. I feel like you have to counter back with your Lutri, right?
Yeah, I would expect a counter here. He's letting the Shark resolve.
Yeah.
And let's...
Oh, he has the downfall effect. He has the Murderous Rider.
Okay.
So maybe he's not interested in throwing... Like, maybe the way we win this game is Lutriing a draw spell, right? Like a Dig Through Time or something.
Or maybe he wants to Lutri and kill the Teferi and the Shark token.
That's true.
Oh, we're going to see a Gearhulk here, though.
Oh, fantastic.
Oh, it's the Teferi was still in the stack. We're
yes,
going to
let
counter
it resolve. Yes, I love it.
Okay.
Interestingly, I forgot there is actually another card that this Narset stopping. It's the Behold the Multiverse, which is one that is quite annoying to have this Narset in play. So having a way to get rid of this Narset for sure opens up.
Probably enough stuff.
Yeah, like 3-ish cards. I think
can't just ignore it all the time.
Yeah. Oh, the day-night mechanic.
Yeah.
I love it.
I do not.
So what is your preferred token strategy? Are you play Magic tokens as from a pack of Magic cards? Are you I like really this artist's design? Are you I'm a Pokemon Magic card player? Like where are you in your
I'm probably the worst in that position where I just grab what's around me.
So it's like is a sleeve.
Yeah,
that is my day-night representation.
Yeah,
the shiny side is day, and the matte side.
I have a good story about that. I was playing Mike Segrist in a GP green-white token mirror. We
Lutri this Blood Chief says we found the Lutri chair. Kill both
Okay.
Sharks. We're going swole now. We're the beatdown.
Yeah, I mean, as long as Thomas doesn't draw a lot of
we still do. I wouldn't trade 5 life for that Narset. But
that's where I thought with the Hall you go to face. That was what I was
with
thinking
the Hall
before.
in play where it's what's that math? That's 5 to face puts him to 16.
Oh, another Teferi.
Oh, that's not great. Wait, we still
have the downfall.
Yeah. So
in the grasp, so we can answer everything here.
Yeah, it's 1 short if he goes face right there for next turn lethal with the Hall.
Okay.
But sorry. You said with Mike Segrist you have tokens.
Oh yeah, so I was playing the green white token mirror, and I brought none of the tokens. And poor Mike Segrist.
The green white token mirror has like 5 different kinds of tokens.
Yes, I brought none of them. And
are you just like, can I use your tokens?
Yeah.
Please?
So Mike was getting both games. He mulled the 5 and was screwed, and I was just taking all of his tokens and just bashing his head in, and I felt so bad. And he was not happy.
I love it.
I mean, who would be?
I
It's
love
like
it so
this
much.
moron is not bringing his tokens, and I'm mulling to oblivion. And
I think that's fantastic. I
Yeah.
think that I tend to be the type of Magic player that I use tokens from other board games.
okay,
So like, for example, I have this game called Equinox. No idea how to play this game. I have like 150 board games, right? So I really like board games.
oh dear,
But this game Equinox, beautiful artwork, really cool looking cards. No idea what they're used for. but I literally bought the game to use some of the cards as tokens, right? And then I went through, I put a day night card in my Pioneer deck yesterday, and I was like, oh, I need something to represent this, and I'm happy with it. But the mechanic of day night is not something I'm happy with.
I'm usually not a fan of mechanics that have a lot of bookkeeping, which
long lasting.
Yeah, which day night has.
Field. That's disappointing.
Yep.
Do you even activate there?
I think we activated it, and then we activated the field response to the activation to not pay 3. That's what happened there, right? Or are you asking, do we even activate it?
Like, why do we activate our hall?
It's a good question. Like into the field.
Yeah, like we just like if our opponent's going to do it in end step, right? Because they need to find a time where they have 3 mana to pay.
Yeah, I feel like we just have nothing going on in our hand. Maybe just want to force the action, I guess.
Of that though, right? Like I don't like telling my opponent I have nothing. Better than active. Like it's such a sign of weakness to activate a hall into your field, right?
I agree. And it looks like we have a Murderous Rider and a Jor Disruption as the last 2 cards.
Maybe the thought process. So like even still, like I would rather get to a spot where I maybe not. Maybe they can like then capitalize a Jor Disruption into a card if something else is casted instead because they had to pay, right? But another land off the top.
I think I would have liked to see the Rider maybe kill that Shark Typhoon at the end of last turn.
This is a very big march.
Yes.
Go all the way. They don't have a daze. They never have a daze. No.
Just tap everything.
Just enough. Just enough. This is going to be pretty bad for Azeem.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Thomas could have gone a bit bigger here. Let me be like 1 or 2 more.
Yeah, I think just playing around Dispute plus Daze, right?
It's probably worth it. You need to kill the
risk it. 7/7 is enormous.
It's plenty good. Yeah, I agree with Thomas's march there. I see a Rider on the big one, the bigger one, I guess. They're both pretty big.
Yep.
I think I like Thomas's position here.
Yeah, I definitely agree. This Shark Typhoon sitting in play, being unanswered is it's definitely hard. And honestly, there are 3 minutes left in the round.
I believe that was 3 minutes ago. So yeah, so we are
we at time. I guess I can also probably put up on. Maybe not.
Either way,
I've just been so enthralled. They have a 2-minute extension. I've been so enthralled in this game. So that means as Azeem, I'm just trying not to die, right?
Yep,
like I'm up a game. Sedgemoor Witch.
That'll help you
live.
Block
flyers.
Oh, wait, never mind. It won't. Yeah.
This lifelinker does. Oh, don't cast over. Narset's gonna pick up from Thomas.
It's all right.
Yeah, but I mean, make a guy and keep going. I think that's like one of the better top decks. Like this guy's gonna buy us a bunch of pressure that we need to claw into this draw.
Find a Memory Deluge is going to be the selection.
I mean, I'll be honest. This game has actually been thrilling for me, so I didn't realize we were already out of time. I didn't get to see this Ashiok, right? I didn't get to see the Thought Distortion. I didn't get to see these sweet cards. I'm really excited for it. No Hallbreaker Horrors on either side.
That's true.
Like all of these. Did we daze this? Did we Jawari this one?
Don't know what you gain. I guess it's a 3-mana card you gain from doing that here.
We get a token.
Okay, yes.
The token is maybe relevant. Probably not. Right?
I don't think it would be. I don't think he would disruption it even if you get the token here.
Yeah. Attack. Aggressive.
I think he was just flipping it around. I think we're still on Thomas's turn here.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Is tapped.
We're having some sort of communication here.
That seems like it might eat up the rest of our time.
Might be a judge call.
Oh, that's fair. Many Shark.
I think he's trying to figure out which one can attack, and I think it's the 5/5.
Definitely is the 5/5 because we played Narset to make a 3/3. We played Deluge to make a 4/4. How do you feel about these Shark tokens?
They're all right.
What would you rate them out of 10?
I think a 5. I can't see them too well. I mean, maybe they're better in person.
Fair.
I like color.
I agree. I think that there's a lot of cool looking sharks. I don't have great clarity on what these are. From first glance, I'm giving them like a solid 6.5 for creativity in the sense that I've never seen them before.
Yep.
Right? But I think that I've seen some cool sharks, right?
There are definitely a lot of cool sharks out there.
Yeah, there's also cool like alternatives for sharks.
Yeah.
Like, what would you do if your opponent put down a little shark figure, like a plastic figure, and they say this is a tiger shark?
You'd probably concede.
I would feel intimidated.
All right, so we got turn 0 on Azeem here.
In time, I think that like token game makes up a lot of some players' enjoyment of this game, right? Like it is. You say, ooh, we're just slamming, we're just coming at you. Azeem is not. I guess like all these creatures are flying, right? Like we're not trying to get a draw anywhere from. Like we're just slamming.
Yep.
All we got is Thoughtseize in hand.
If
Don't cast that one.
If we're attacking with the rider, it's probably worth attacking with everything, right? Because we want the life link.
Oh no, Azeem is at 12, and we have 12 in play.
Yep. So I think we're getting 2 here, hopefully.
So interestingly, Thoughtseize in planned. Obviously, don't cast it because of 2 life.
Yep.
Even if he's a little bit above 2, I don't think I'm casting it because it turns a counter spell into a body.
Agreed.
Which is lethal, right?
I think that's more relevant than a 1/1. As you see, Thomas was gripping a veto there, so that would have been a 2/2 shark.
So we're gonna get a.
So this is turn number 1. It should be turn number 1, I believe.
I think Thomas might be able to pull this out
for the draw.
Yeah. So correct. Yeah, but I think that like we send. I think Azeem is at 14 now, right? Because he gained 2, so it's not lethal. We play Teferi, get another shark. I'm not sure where life totals are at right now, but.
Okay, so Azeem is at 14, so we don't not have lethal as of yet.
4. Thomas is at 4. He just took that. He took the whole swing.
Thomas is at 4, yes.
He took the whole swing. He didn't block anything. He has a 4/4.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I'm real worried now.
That might have been like a bit of fear from Thomas's side.
Yeah, I think there's some communication on when it was time called, but they'll figure that out. Judges got it under control. I'm a little bit worried that. Okay, yeah, make up shark. But like this 5/5 is not protecting us from dying.
I think what happened was Thomas may have forgotten about the lifelink and saw that he had 12 power and play with some counter spells and was like, you know what? I'm not going to play around something like
Makes
weird.
Sense. I won't. But what could the Lucha deck possibly have that's weird?
I don't know.
Are we? Oh, we still got the Narset activation.
Yep.
Because we don't have a spell. We just have counters. Another counter.
Absorb.
So. Okay, we gotta take it slow, right?
This is interesting now.
Well, we just don't slam and kill, right? We just gotta hold back. You might attack with like one of your creatures, like your 3/3, right?
Yep.
And then you just hold back.
I think you hold back everybody
and just wait for the big turn. I like that. That's a very blue-white play.
Yeah, we're gonna send a 5/5.
I think I'd hold back the.
I think it's fine either way. He has a absorb and double veto in hand. It's kind of hard to see what.
I'm just kind of like I like the 3/3 can block all his 3-power creature. Okay, no, I guess there's a 2/3. So yeah, the 3/3 still has a card to eat on this swing.
So Azeem was turn 1 previously. Now I think Azeem is turn 3.
Yes.
Azeem is turn 2. Okay.
We have 3, 4, 5. So we got Azeem has one more turn after this.
I do not believe he's getting another one.
Yeah, still a deluge there. I do believe this should be enough sharks. Weird question. Do you veto your own deluge just to get another shark?
I don't think so, because I'm just fearful of what Azeem could have. I don't, out of the Lutri deck, I don't know, some weird card that does 4 to the noggin,
Checks out. Also, you should have it. Like, if this is the final turn in turns, I might.
Yeah.
But I think that knowing. No, I guess you're right, because like this is enough sharks that are lethal anyway.
Yeah.
So I think you could have as an instant that interacts with me, like an air tie or something.
I'm almost at the point where, because Thomas did still have lethal, I'm pretty sure, even outside of a Murderous Rider attack, that he had lethal anyways. I'm not even sure if I'm interested in flashing back the deluge.
Just don't even put down the shields.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that. You just have all the counters in the world. And then, like, again, you have another turn, right? So if your opponent. What could you have? What kind of card could you have right here? I'm confused.
Blocks are kind of interesting.
Are we done? I know we're blocking the attacks.
Yeah, we were blocking. I was interested.
Oh wait, Thomas, you did this in combat as deluge. I thought this was an end step deluge.
Yep.
Ooh.
So Thomas had put a 4/4 and a 3/3 shark in front of the 3/2 Sedgemoor Wish. Instead, he could have put the 3/3 shark in front of the 1/1 and just have the 4/4 eat the 3/2.
Yeah, but the 3/3 could have gone in front of the 2/3, right?
Yeah, that could have happened as well.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of clean blocks there. That's why I was hesitant about stacking with the 5, but the blocks were pretty clean. You do take 1 no matter what. I mean, we have lethal still, right? We got 18.
Yep. By my math, that is 18.
A lot of
So,
cards in hand, many counters.
Yep.
Got nothing, right?
Yep. Azeem's going to show him, and Tom's going to show him like 7
9
counter spells.
and a Hullbreaker Horror, and
Yeah.
I think this is going to be a draw unless one of the players decides to concede the match. I think a draw in round 3 is perfectly fine for both of these decks. They will
A fitting result for this matchup.
I thought this was thrilling the entire time. I think in this last match, I don't think Azeem drew any of his haymakers.
Yep.
Right. None of the powerful big magic cards that we were excited to see. So yeah, this is definitely not what we were hoping that the Lucha deck was going to be able to pull out in game 2. The blue white deck did seem to clean up a lot of the bad matches.